All right, welcome to another episode of Gin and Truth. I'm the captain of this ship, Robert motherfucking Reed. Got a tumble full of hair, just got a mindful of thoughts. Let's go. All right, gang, let's jump into this shit. Your boy's a little bit tired, probably more emotionally than physically. I'll probably fire off a fastball maybe later on this afternoon, definitely tomorrow. But right now, I don't feel like going to war. So I thought we could have some fun. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Uh, for those of us born in the Generation X bullshit, you guys understand because the first person I always think of is my Uncle Finney. Boy, did I love my Uncle Finney. You couldn't tell me shit. If Finney was coming to pick me up, it was going to be a good motherfucking day. And even when Finney was 30 something years old, he still looked like he was 57. Uh, uh, One thing that Reeds don't go bald, we go gray as a fox by 40. Right? If I let this thing grow out, I'm just going to look like I have a cotton ball on my fucking face. Couldn't even begin to tell you what it looks like on top of my head because I literally shave every day. I've never wanted hair on my head. Period. In the story. That's a whole nother story. Back on topic. My Uncle Finney, right? He was always an old guy, but I always had so much fun with Finney. I'm Finney now, right? I'm in my 50s. And the way I looked at my Uncle Finney, I now have to understand the young ones look at me like that now. They look at you like that now, Gen X. If you're in your fucking 50s and you're watching this, you're listening to this, maybe even mid to late 40s. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Beavers are like, oh, I feel so sorry for the. You're, every Generation X motherfucker is going to have that moment or those moments where you're just like, yep, if I was ever once cool, not anymore. You got to settle into a whole nother lane, Jack. You got to be comfortable with being unk with Paul, right? Shit like that, because you are not cool. And I remember, now, oh, fuck me in the ass sideways. Look at these. So on the days where it's really bad, gang, you see those? I still have my crutches because there's some days where I cannot put weight on my leg, like none at all. And I was having one of those stretches of time. And I remember I was trying to get into work and I'm crutching through the parking lot to get to work. And a young lady, and I do mean a young lady, early to mid 20s at best. And I'm not even drunk. She sees me crutching across the parking lot and she holds the door open for me. I see her, she sees me, and so I'm trying to crutch a little bit faster. Fuck, I'm a little bit older than she is, right? It's supposed to be the exact opposite. And I can hear it's like, no, take your time, take your time. Crutch up those 3 concrete steps to get in my place of work. Look like, thank you, ma'am, thank you. She passed me on my shoulder, and I bullshit you not, gang. She's like, it's gonna be okay. I was like, okay. If I was once cool, I doubt it because I've always been an old man. But if I ever had a shot at cool, done, son. When a woman half your fucking age is holding the door open for you because she feels sorry for you and then pats you on the shoulder and tells you it's going to be okay, you are not cool. You are not fucking cool. Don't even try it. Again, you got to settle into you thought you were the ladies' man, didn't you? You thought you were Pimp Master General. Yeah, you're a Paul now. You're Unk. Right? That little girl's going to be coming to me for advice on her boyfriend. Tell me about the good old days. Did women hold the door open? I mean, it's a whole different fucking story. And again, I'm just going to be all over the place. I'm thinking about some bullshit at work. And again, I pass the time by, asking stupid questions. They can be insightful. They can be sophomoric. They can be all over the place. And I'm trying to remember why what the question was, but it was a date. It's always fun to stump people with dating questions. Skin is dry than a motherfucker. And I set up a scenario where you just met him for the first time. He gets to your door, hands you flowers. Hey, Elizabeth, I've heard a lot about you. I just want to say, thank you. Here's some flowers. Thank you for dating me or going out on a date with me. You get in the car. The rapport seems to be good. And Elizabeth's like, so we're going to dinner. Where are we going to dinner? And John's like, hey, look, I've been researching. I really want to surprise you. Okay. I really, really want to surprise you. And sure enough, you drive into, that's why I remember. You drive into the parking lot and you're like, he fucking nailed it. Now, the rest of the question is the question, but that was the setup to, would this guy get a second date? We won't even talk about that part right now. Just he comes to your door, he knocks, he brings you flowers. He's polite, he's gentlemanly, he opens up your door. You ask, where are we going? He says, I really want to tell you, Elizabeth, but boy, I just really want to surprise you. I've been planning this. And sure enough, surprise. Now, gang, once upon a time, that's how you used to date. You used to go to her house, ask politely. There was nothing. It wasn't just for prom to hand the young lady some flowers. I remember my first date with my high school girlfriend. Boy, I worked my balls off to save up the money. We went to Schlotzsky's. And I still remember I was driving my dad's 1984 Chevy Impala fucking station wagon. And I had to save up, Jack. I mean, I fucked me in the ass sideways. My first date was to Schlotzsky's. And I actually remember bringing her a flower. Well, that's what kind of bullshit is that? Long story short, gang, the young ladies that heard the setup to that question, like, that's straight sitting on some bullshit. And they did it like, okay, so he went to your house, so he's a stalker. He handed you flowers, straight sitting on, and they did it like, he's a stalker. He's probably going to rape and murder you. Who brings flowers? That's sitting on some bullshit. And wait, you asked where you wanted to go, and he didn't want to tell you because he wanted to be a surprise. Controlling behavior. He's probably Scott Peterson mixed with little Ike Turner. Are you serious? They weren't bullshitting. The young ladies in their 20s, and I guess times have changed. I don't know. But I was like, come on, kid, stop fucking with me. No. Then I started asking more young ladies. Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck that. Flowers? Oh, no, he's trying to rape you in your booty hole. Don't ever accept. I was like, really? Times have changed, Gen X. What was normal for us now is apparently just straight sitting on some bullshit. We are the old people now. If you have not embraced that, you need to start embracing it. Stat, Jack. We aren't cool anymore. I remember one of my big slaps in the face of reality. I remember. Now, I still had, was it Sirius XM radio, whatever the fuck that was? The classic rock station. Now, if you're my age, what was classic rock for us, gang? Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. You remember that? Right? Then I remember the first time Boston, More Than a Feeling. All the things. It's like, oh, this is so cool. And I remember putting it on the classic rock station while I was driving. You know what I heard? That echo guitar. It was Welcome to the Fucking Jungle. And I'm like, welcome. Wait. That's classic rock now? I was in high school for that. Do you realize that was 1988, 89? Yeah. I was a junior in high school. Today's kids hear that, and now that is classic. That is retro. People talking about how records are coming back into style. Versus what? We didn't have a choice, right? I grew up legit. You guys grew up 8 tracks. You remember that? I remember joking with my mom a long time ago. Jerry Butler. You guys remember that album? The Iceman Cometh? Remember that? One of my dad's favorite songs, Your Precious Love. Well, you young motherfuckers, you just get on Spotify, click, drag something, get to your favorite, whatever the fuck. We couldn't do that. You guys remember those fucking 8-track tapes were like this fucking big, that fucking thick? You have to, right? In order to get from one track to another one, you press that button, what you hear, right? And I remember telling mom, because now that I've got streaming, I still prefer listening to Your Precious Love 8-track. My parents still have a working 8-track, right? Your precious love needs more pain. It is fucking crystal clear. I loved it. But again, Gen X, we are officially those old people now. Yeah. And let's rewind and I think about what made us what we are. We aren't a generation. We are military. We are Navy SEAL operators gone rogue. I just belched, hashtag unprofessional. We were lab rats that escaped the lab, and now we are wreaking havoc upon the world. If there's any young motherfuckers trying to figure out why you can't kill us off, I'm about to break it all the way down. We are science experiments gone wrong. I don't even know where to start, right? There was no mental health awareness when we were kids. Y'all remember that? You young motherfuckers, if you want to survive the apocalypse, find yourself a Generation X friend. We'll more than likely tell you to go get fucked and stop wasting our time. But yeah, you need to cozy up to one of us, right? Again, if you acted a little bit less than normal, what was the official diagnosis? You were either being disrespectful or you were crazy. Either way, the treatment was the same. What was it? We got our asses whipped. You remember that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Your kid farts twice in a row. And oh no, that's got to be sign of schizophrenia. Next thing you know, your 13-year-old has got a full-time shrink psychiatrist. They're being loaded up with fucking pills. Like, you ever just stop to think the motherfucker's 13? Who knows? And oh yeah, this is going to be a very politically incorrect. Go back to being nice tomorrow. But for right now, Generation X, let's hash this shit out. Oh yeah, there was no counseling. And again, I've said in previous videos, Lenovo Day videos, if you are Black, Gen X, and had a mental illness, good Lord. You guys remember what they used to tell us? Right? What are we? Probably early high school, when we started hearing things like depression. 1, what do you have to be so sad about? 2, remember what they would tell us? Those are white people problems. Don't get your ass outside and play. Give me a break. I mean, seriously, those are white people problems. They were that's exactly what we were taught, right? Because you guys got to understand, if you were outside of my race and it was like, what kind of fucked up shit is that? I'm going to sit here and tell you how hard I had it. My parents were born in the early 1940s in the South. Yeah. Depression? Fuck that. Attention? Fuck that. You were busy trying not to get lynched. What? So we were raised by Spartans, gladiators, people that they didn't even know they were allowed to be emotional or have feelings. You kept that shit bottled the fuck up if you were my mom's generation. My mom is silent generation. My dad's baby boomer. Me and Berkey are Generation X, right? So you didn't complain to your parents about feelings. What kind of bullshit is that? So again, when we talk about mental health, clearly those of us that have lived with mental illness or anything like that, and you're this age, you survive. But it's not because of medication, and it's not because you went to a shrink. You coped. You found a fucking way, Jack. And you, more times than not, trial and error and self-preservation. You couldn't talk to anybody. You just found a fucking way. All you knew is that you had to get from here to fucking there, and you found a way. So that's what I'm saying. We are tough. I told you, we are science experiments gone bad. We are rogue Navy SEAL fucking operators that said, fuck mission parameters, I'm getting the fucking job done. We coped. We found a fucking way. We are truly, something else I said in my previous shows on this. We didn't have a childhood. We didn't enjoy our childhood. We survived our fucking childhood. You guys remember? And I remember, I think it was last year. I'm sitting there, New Roads, Louisiana, and it was the first cousins and then everybody else. And I remember Tam was the one who brought it up, and just like, notice the difference. When we were younger, if you got a bike or something, we were gone for the rest of the day. You understand that? We Lance Armstrong that shit for hours. You're like, peace, mom and dad. We were gone, Jack. And I bullshit you not. The cardboard that your gifts came in were just as valuable as the fucking gifts. What the hell do you think you got shoved down the levees on, gang? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You just hope you avoid it like animal shit. But oh, yeah. Fuck the gifts. You would take your new bike with some fucking cardboard. You go down about, 3 miles or so, get on that goddamn levee. And on your new bike, you would get pushed down the levee by your fucking cousins. Fun than a motherfucker. But Tam's like footballs, basketballs, skates, anything. We went outside and we just, right, until it was time to eat. And we're sitting there and we're watching, the second, mainly like the third cousins. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm old enough to have third cousins now. This was them. Bullshit you not. Quiet as a church mouse, a whole group of them. Not a single one of them talking, not a single one of them interacting. They just sat there for hours, glued to their screens. And she was like, "You guys remember when we were their age? You'd have to put us in a cage to keep us from getting." Up and down that long ass street, just riding bikes, racing, being pushed down levees again. And we did it with no protective gear. I remember staying on that goddamn bike literally from sun up to damn near sundown. You wouldn't even come in for fucking lunch. You'd get there for dinner and we'd all stuff ourselves like ticks until we damn near burst. You'd get your new bike, no helmets, no elbow pads, no nothing. And if it wasn't a 10-speed and it was a dirt bike, you guys remember those pedals that had the claws on them? You want to build yourself some motherfucking character? You remember what would happen when your foot slid off of that pedal? Titus Belch, hashtag unprofessional. And the damage it would do to your fucking shins? Oh, it's like fucking Freddy Krueger leg tackled you. Oh, yeah. Oh, go fuck yourself. Again, we did not enjoy our childhood. We endured and we fucking survived it, Jack. And I've already don't need to tell you all about the wonders of growing up on hose water. Holy shit. Right now, kids, are having protein shakes and fruit smoothies with creatine monohydrate. No one drinks water anymore. You hydrate your cells now. Fuck the bullshit. We grew up on fucking hose water. Yeah, the exact same hose that was used. You guys remember that bullshit during the springtime and your dad wanted the best lawn in the neighborhood? He'd screw on that bullshit, you guys remember, and spray the grass. Seriously, you guys ever stop to think that we drank out of the same water hose? We did. We did. How much of that shit went backwash mode into the hose? That's plastic. Holy shit. Now we're talking about microplastics in our food. Why are we microwaving shit? Really? That's every time I hear the argument about microplastics, I just laugh my balls off. It's like, I don't think you understand the environment in which I grew up in. Fuck nuts. Microplastics in your food. What? If you grew up in the South, holy shit. A cold day in the summer was 99 degrees. That water hose stayed outside and baked. And then you would turn it on, and you always get the youngest motherfucker. Remember that? Because that first shot of water was scalding hot and tasted like hot plastic. You guys remember that? So you always get the young one. Then the older ones would come and say, hey, thanks, motherfucker. And you, right? And you always had that one kid that was performing fellatio on the goddamn water hose. You guys remember that sucker? Because what's the drill? You do it like this right here, so it runs past your mouth. You'd have that. I'm sure your boyfriend's very pleased with you now, but goddamn, I got to drink after you now. God damn. And we're worried about fucking microplastics and food now. It's like clearly you were born in 1999. Apparently, I grew up on microplastics, and I can't die. You know, the one thing I truly, truly appreciate about our Generation X upbringing? Fighting. Fighting. I told you all a long time ago, one of my thought questions was literally, when was the last time you've been in a fist fight? Okay. People reacted like I asked, when was the last time you fucked your mom with the lights on face to face? I thought I was a fucking barbarian. It's like, wait, people don't fight anymore? Okay, let me tell you guys something. I told you, I've never entered the one-legged foot race to the top of Tolerance Mountain. Miss me with all that Maharishi Gandhi bullshit, right? Absolutely fucking not. And anyone who wants to sit here and say that violence is never the answer, that's fucking stupid. If that's your sentiment, then you haven't asked enough questions. Yeah, sometimes you just have to knuckle the fuck up. You may not want to, but yeah, sometimes violence is the answer, right? So we grew up fighting. And the best part about growing up with the generation that fought is that you learn how to lose. That has become a very forgotten skill these days, gang. It has, right? I look at some of the bullshit that I've had to witness in the last 4, 5, 6 years of my life. People don't know how to fight their own fights. This now is a battleground, right? I'm going to write you a negative review. Oh, I'm going to get you so bad, sin, burn. Now, fuck the bullshit. You wanted some, you had to go chest to chest. We didn't have Yelp reviews. We didn't have fucking Reddit. If I had a problem with you or you had a problem with me, we settled it. And again, I bullshit you not. The best part about fighting is losing. It's learning how to lose. Because sometimes you would get that ass whipped badly. And the person who just beat your ass had a good reason to do it. And gang, there is nothing more humbling. Oh yeah, I've experienced it. There is nothing more humbling than having to get up off the ground with no one's help. You just got thrashed. You got beaten thoroughly. There's no question who won that fight. And then you had to get up, look that person in the face, and say the words, I'm sorry. I'm going to say that again. The person who just beat you like a runaway slave, and you had to get up off the ground underneath your own power, look that person in the face and utter the words, I'm sorry. Now, growing up, I saw that more than once. And you want to know what happened between the two people? And no, fuck faces, it just wasn't the boys. Those two people ended up being friends when it was all said and done with. The best part about fighting is learning how to lose. I truly believe that is a lost art these days, gang. The machines that were supposed to bring us closer together are the ones that are driving us apart. And I truly believe that we've lost a little bit of our humanity. That was like, why apologize? It's almost like people aren't as real as they used to be. Right? Again, it's one thing to do something fucked up and you're 2 states away. But when you're looking that person in the fucking eye, hold on, me. When you look that person in the eye and you see the hurt that you've caused, and if that doesn't move you to better the situation, you're a psychopath. Right? And again, these machines were supposed to bring us closer, but they've truly driven us apart. And I'm telling you, nothing like getting your ass beat and then having to look that person in the face and say the words, "I'm sorry." Now everyone's getting someone else to fight their fights, it feels like. And that's what I'm saying. So for the people who look at me at work, maybe some of you on this video and like, "Oh, what a barbaric time." I wouldn't trade it for the world. It truly taught you conflict resolution skills. No one was coming to save you. I never experienced it, but I sure the fuck have seen it. For us latchkey kids, you had what, an hour, 2 hours to burn before your parent or parents walked through that goddamn door. So you had a lot of time to do something before mom and dad walked through the door. And just the way our neighborhood was set up, normally mom got home first. Well, here's the thing, gang. You come home, your mom comes home, and you look a frightful mess. Mom didn't panic. First question is, what'd you do? Right? Then you would tell the situation, and now you got your ass whipped. You know what happened? At least half, maybe 60% of the time, mom put you in the car, drove you back over there, and said, "Round 2, freak." And you would fight again. You would fight again. Again, go ahead, call us barbaric and the bullshit and the blase and the Glavenwood. Get it all out of your system. But this is why Generation X cannot be defeated, right? We grew up fighting. We found a way. There was no shrink. There was no safe spaces. Shit happened. And you learned early, Jack, that life is a motherfucker. And you would better create your own fucking happiness. Because you know what? That world out there, it's not going to do it for you. You grew up tougher than a motherfucker. You had to. You fucking had to. Right? And again, we gain new knowledge, and I get it. And I'm glad things are evolving. And it's just part of the drill. My parents did it. My grandparents did it. Now it's my turn. Now I'm right here in that sweet spot of the decline where it's still funny. So now I get to look at the generations underneath me and say, "You soft motherfucker," because you are soft. Please go fuck yourself. Go get mad. When you're in your 50s, you can make a video for Generation Omega or whatever the fuck's coming up. I don't know. I don't care. But we're gaining new information. And if I'm sitting here complaining about how soft these motherfuckers have it, we're going in the right direction. That means they didn't have to climb the mountains that I did. I didn't have to climb the mountains that my parents climbed. So if I'm complaining, that means we're heading in the right direction. But fuck it. Allergies. Holy shit. Again, we've gained new knowledge and we are evolving and we are changing. But I do not remember peanut allergies when I was a kid, gang. I don't. Hearing stories now that you cannot even bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to school for lunch. Really? I have no fucking clue. People are allergic to fucking everything. Hey, that's the human body. It's not fucking perfect. I get it. But I mean, allergic to eggs and dairy. I've even heard of people anaphylactic shock level allergic to things like strawberries. I've already talked about peanuts. Holy shit, we just didn't have any of that. And now you got kids that are 12, 13, 14 years old talking about macronutrients. You know, you put a plate of food in front of the kid and they're lecturing your monkey ass that that's not balanced. I'm like, nigga, it's food. Eat it. Shut the fuck up. right? Our nutritional teachings was what? Your mama made it and you're going to eat it. And then you're going to say thank you. They're going to wash the dishes. Because if you don't, I'm going to beat your ass. You guys ever notice that just about everything growing up always ended with a threat of us getting our ass whipped? Holy shit. But yeah. True story. So when I signed with UT, you got all this shit in the mail. And one of them was kind of a welcome packet from the food coach, Marsha Beckerman. And for like 2 weeks, you had to write down everything that you chewed and swallowed so that she can, examine it. Because when you got there, you would sit down with her and she would teach, this is how you eat to have, an athletic lifestyle. Well, it was my turn and she sat down with me again. And I just remember and she showed me my paper that I had mailed back to her. And I could even see my writing. It's like someone, slaughtered a hog and let the blood just drip all over my paper. Everything I ate was straight sitting on some bullshit. And I was like, really? I can't eat like this? I got a scholarship to eat like this. And gang, it's just, you fuck that. And that's when I started learning about proteins and fats and carbs and the whatnot. All I knew was my mom made it, so I fucking ate it. It was just really all that simple. And I still remember one of my first times going through the line, the chow hall. We ate like gods. I've got no complaints. Even when you were a Division I athlete, you do not eat in the regular people's cafeteria. We had our own. And I remember the first time they put this white slimy shit on my plate. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's like, that's fish. I'm like, no, that's raw fish. What are you doing? Cook that shit. It's like, it's baked. I said, I don't even know if that's legal. What do you mean baked? It's flipping on my, then they put this big pile of rice. I'm like, well, that's nice, but where's the rest of it? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, well, what do you mean? What do I mean? Rice and gravy. You're just sitting there and you got fucking just lonely ass rice. There should be something on top of it to make it delicious and vibrant. They weren't bullshit. So, you learn about shit like that, but we had no real nutritional counseling when we were younger. You remember? Yeah. You guys remember when McDonald's was a treat and not a fucking staple? But that was the best part about being as active as we were, right? If you ate a Big Mac and fries every once in a while, it was not in the world because by the time you finished it, you were already on that bike and your monkey ass had pedaled the Alps during the Tour de France. You were always running in the caloric deficit game. Always, always, always. Now, it just hit me. You know the best part about being Generation X? The racism. Boy, that was some real primo shit. You guys remember that? Because again, did I enjoy being called nigger? Nope. But at least I knew who my friends were back then, right? You couldn't hide who you were. You could not. Right now, I think about, some of the shit just in Austin, Texas, right? One little girl literally ruined her family's life. Prominent family, well-to-do, great reputation. And I do not know what it is about today's kids, but man, straight sitting on some bullshit. The internet is written in ink, not pencil. The moment you hit send on a video, it is out there forever. Go ahead, delete it. It's not deleted. It can be dug up. You understand that? And this little girl, white kid, of course, just recorded herself going on a nigger tirade, saying it like it was 1999, the world was coming to an end, and this was her last shot at greatness. Well, you'll never guess what? It literally ruined the family. They had to pick up and move. First, they tried to put her in a private school here in Austin. It's like, I got your money, the Blase and the Glavinoid. She's a smart kid. It's like, yeah, she is a smart kid. And thank you for the check. Let me look her money. Nope, get the fuck out. And they literally had to leave the city of Austin and start over. Right? I think they're like the Johnson family in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They went to witness protection program. I'm not bullshitting. It literally ruined that family's, not hers, the family's life. That's what I'm saying. Back then, I wonder how many black friends that child had. Once upon a time, if you wanted to hate somebody, you had to do it to their fucking face. You didn't find out through the grapevine that John or Elizabeth or Susie or Stephen hated niggers or wetbacks or chinks. You knew, right? We were way bolder with our actual feelings back then, gang. So again, the racism of the past, you may not have enjoyed it, but goddamn it, you knew who your fucking friends were. I still remember is when the Galaxy Theater first opened up. We were excited than a motherfucker. And I cannot remember what movie we saw, but I still remember it was me, Luigi Raps, D-Nell, Little Mike. I think Charlie was there. Did I already say Dukes? There was a handful of us. And of course, we were sitting there waiting on our mommies to come and pick us up. We were too young to drive. And the only non-black person, Luigi Raps. And like 5 black dudes, 1 Mexican, Louis. And I don't know why, but we all just, fuck. We knew what was going to happen. I seriously, there was a disturbance in the force because we're just sitting there and all our heads turned. And we saw this pickup truck. Fuck. And we knew what was going to happen. We knew it. And sure enough, the wheels start to spin. It takes off through a parking lot. They're doing at least 40 in a parking lot. They zoom by, niggers! I'll never forget that. And we were just like, and we knew it was coming. We knew it was fucking coming. Because I just remember we were just like, damn. Never forget that for as long as I live. So it's like, for you young motherfuckers, racism is kind of, well, the president. It's what you see on TV, or I'm sorry, streaming services. It's a dirty tweet. Once upon a time, it was in your motherfucking face. We didn't even try to hide our true feelings back then. You almost couldn't, right? I just belch hashtag unprofessional. You knew no matter what side you were on, one day the shit's going to hit the fan and you need to know exactly who your people were. So I guess to sum up that whole fucking portion, we were more emotionally honest. And whether I liked you or disliked you, you knew about it. Because I didn't have time to fuck around. And again, back then, the racism was primo, Jack. It fucking sucked, but at least you knew who you to and who not to fuck with. You want to know why else we're fucking survivors? Let's lighten it up just a little bit. You guys remember the playgrounds we used to play on? I mean, holy shit. Nowadays, when a kid leaves the fucking house, it's with a play date that's been organized, right? You almost have to have a Secret Service detail to take you 3 blocks down the street and play at Johnny's house for exactly 47.9 minutes, where you have to take your fucking Ritalin and do a shot of whatever. It's like, shut the fuck up. We went to those playgrounds. You guys remember the fucking playgrounds? Everything was metal, and it wasn't even treated. So half the times you went there and you put your hands on something, you guys remember the copper? It was rusting, and our parents is like, go outside and play. And you did. You guys remember, what is it? Not a merry-go-round. What the fuck was that thing? So you kids, so there was this, and this metal plate that was what? 16 feet, 20 feet in circumference. Then it had that about every foot. It had this little U-horn, right? That was for you to hold on to. And it was someone's great idea to invent this shit. And all the older kids would do was be to spin your monkey ass around as fast as they possibly could and see who was the last little kid left standing. And when you really thought you were cool than a motherfucker, you guys remember what your job was? You would run. You would hold on to one of those U-bars. And your monkey ass was, you guys remember when the Flash, the WB series first came out, right? And he was, fighting the fucking weather dude and shit. And he was like, Barry got his ass zapped by some lightning and shit. And the dude was in his fucking ear, right? And he was like, you can do it, Barry. Run, Barry, run! And his monkey ass, ran in the circle real fast and suffocate the motherfucker. That was you. And you would run really fast and shit. You would just sit there and run in a fucking circle. And when you thought you were the coolest motherfucker, that thing was going like 4 miles an hour tops. But you're like, I can do it! And you would jump onto that moving circle of death. You guys remember that? I bullshit you not when I tell you I cannot count the number of broken bones I remember seeing because a kid flew off. They try to break their fall with a straight arm, and you can hear someone's forearm fucking snapping. You guys remember the good old days? Oh, yeah, fuck the bullshit. Again, you kids, you're going outside and shit. Your mom has got you dressed up in so much armor, you look like fucking Darth Vader. You've got, a shot of broad spectrum anti-fucking biotics just in case. She makes you drink an entire thing of Purell, right? It's like, what? Our fucking playgrounds were truly military obstacle courses. You guys remember those fucking swings? Oh my God. And now to think about it, this may be the beginning of my arachnophobia. Don't think I have it much anymore. But I remember, God, those little motherfuckers were like that big. And I'm sitting at Lanark. Man, Lanark needs to be burnt the fuck down. Bad memories from that fucking place. First place I ever got called a nigger. Side story. Okay, so I'm sitting at Lanark, and I'll never forget. My teacher called me a nigger. I was so young, I didn't know what the word meant, right? I honestly had no idea. Lanark was a daycare center. So was I 5 years old? Well, they heard this raggedy bitch say it, so my classmates started saying it. So for the whole day, I'm a nigger. I thought that was pretty cool. You're 5 years old, right? So, the mind of a child. If it happens once, okay. Happens 200 times, even better. And I remember going home and telling my family what I was. And even at 5 years old, my heart sunk in my chest. It felt all the way to the bottom of my feet. Because then I realized, that word is hate. And even in my mind, I'm trying to do the emotional calculus. What must a 5-year-old do to an adult to make them hate them that much? I've never been able to come up with that answer, right? But I'm sitting there at the fucking daycare center on those fucking swings. You guys remember plastic? Back then when you wore those fucking cut-off blue jean booty shorts, it was like getting branded every fucking time. So you would sit on that hot-ass plastic strap. You would hold on to the chains because they were literal chains. And I wasn't doing anything. And again, it's one of those moments where there's disturbance in the force. And I look up, and this goddamn spider all I remember is that I had to take a shot from the nurse. I don't know what kind of spider it was, but whatever the fuck it was, I remember they had to give me a shot. And I don't remember feeling good for the rest of the day. I don't know if it was because the fucking shot or the goddamn spider. I'll never forget that day for as long as I live. I mean, that shit happened like in slow motion. I was straight sitting on some bullshit. Where was I? Oh, yeah, the playground. You guys remember the sound of searing skin? Because you guys remember the slide? Holy shit. That was metal too. And you guys remember the real fucked up ones? It had to be put together. Yeah. It wasn't just, so you young motherfuckers, I mean, in my head, it was like as tall as, the Tower of Americas, but I don't know, what was it? 9 feet tops? I don't know. And you would climb up, and of course you would slide down. It's bad enough that those things were metal, and it would, again, it's one thing if it's the fall, okay, big deal. In the summer, south of the Mason-Dixon line, when it's 101 outside, that heat is hitting that metal, and it is hot, and you never once learned your lesson. But some of those slides weren't whole. 3 feet, screws. 3 more feet, screws. 3 more feet to the top, screw. And you would go down that and you would skin the back of your fucking thigh. And here's the thing, we never fucking stopped. It hurt. And if it wasn't the heat hitting that metal and making it hot than a motherfucker, it was the ridges because it wasn't perfectly aligned. You know, it was always just a little bit of space. And you would scratch the back of your legs up so goddamn bad. But again, you want to know why we can't die? Because of shit like that. Our playground equipment. Oh my God. I remember. You young ones want to know what we did before iPhones and shit? We threw rocks at each other. You guys remember that? There was one standing rule. You can't hit anyone in the face. But oh yeah. You know what we did before having a supercomputer at our disposal in our back pocket? We threw rocks at each other. We did. Muddy clots. And I remember it got so bad where I went to elementary school, there was a strict no throwing rock policy. Now, some of you young motherfuckers, that just seems like common sense. It was 1979. What the fuck else were we going to do but throw rocks at each other? Huh? You're talking about playground trauma? You guys remember how fun fucking dodgeball was? I was a grown man with a job, like a career. And I remember hearing for the first time, I want to say it was a school like in New York-ish, maybe, a school district. They outlawed dodgeball. They said it was exclusionary. You're right. It is. There's no greater metaphor for life than that red plastic ball that would wrap itself around your fucking face like a face hugger from the movie Alien. You guys remember that? If you want to talk about betrayal, holy shit. Nothing was worse. You can be married with 3 fucking kids, come home to find your wife getting butt fucked by the next door neighbor. That is nothing compared to the pain of the betrayal. That when you find out that your best friend has got that ball behind their back and you turn and you make eye contact, it's like, whew, I'm safe. Then you realize your friend's like, you're like, what? No! And that shit would just wrap around your fucking face. You could watch your wife get fucked in front of your fucking face and nothing stung like knowing that your best friend was hiding that ball and waiting to hit you in the fucking face as hard as they can. If you can survive that, you can survive the rest of your fucking life, Jack. How many of you guys played wall ball? You guys remember wall ball? I'm sure you guys had, I think I've heard people call it butts up or the whatnot. So for you young motherfuckers, it was a racquetball. A tennis ball if you were lucky. Racquetball hurts more. So you'd have like 10, 15, 20 people. You would take that ball, throw it on against the wall. Someone would catch it clean. That was it. That was it. You would just throw it against the wall as hard as you could. Now, if you're the person who tries to catch it and you do not field that ball cleanly and that ball hits the ground, you can no longer touch it. Now, wherever you are, you have to run and touch the wall. You fucked up. Doesn't sound really all that bad. This is where what kind of ball is being used is important. Because now you've got 15 other people trying to get to that ball, and our only mission now is to throw it at your back of your head as hard as possible. Now, if we are playing the same game, do you guys remember what would happen if you dropped the ball 3 times and got hit 3 times? In order to continue with the game, you remember what you had to do? Spread eagle. So after your 3rd drop and you've been hit for the 3rd time, I bullshit you not. You have to go up against the wall. It's like a prison search. You put your hands against the wall, you ducked your head, and you just stood there. And you know what happened? Every person playing the fucking game got the ball. You had 3 steps. You would crow hop like this is Major League Baseball. Wham! And you would throw that ball at that person's back as hard as you fucking could. We weren't holding back. You would go to class laughing your ass off. Let's say we got Steve, right? Steve would pull his shirt up and we would look, gang, holy shit. Either you just got acupuncture and with those little fucking suction cups, or you got attacked by a goddamn octopus or squid, or you played wall ball at Kirby Junior High with me and my hooligan ass friends. Visible marks. And every time you would sit back, teacher would ask you, what's wrong? Nothing, I'm fine. You guys remember those days? Oh, yeah. Again, let's wrap this up. I can go on for fucking ever. Like I said, I'll start throwing fastballs on my next show. I just need something a little bit light. If you were born in the mid 60s, all the way up to, I think it's like 1984, you're Gen X, you didn't enjoy your childhood. You survived it. To my Generation X brothers and sisters, we are tough for a fucking reason, Jack. We are. Again, Artist Belch, #unprofessional. I'm glad that today's kids have it easier than us. Just like our parents are happy that we had it easier than they did, but you still get to fucking complain. Long before there was talk of mental health, you had to cope. You had to find a way, right? Which makes us the survivors that we are. Oh, there was still bipolar mood disorder. There was still, quick story on that. I told y'all this long time ago, Jesse. Today's kids, you don't have Jessies in your class anymore because that kind of behavior, they would have sniffed it out. They would have gotten that boy treatment, put him in a different program. But there was definitely something wrong with Jesse. This is the 5th grade. Why that motherfucker had a 5 o'clock shadow, we had no idea. Right? When the principal was having a smoke break, Jesse was sitting right next to him. Jesse was significantly older than us, but still in our grade, right? And just Jesse was just different. Really long story short, we are out at recess and Jesse snaps. No one talked to him. No one called him, a wet back or anything. He snapped. And I remember he saw our 5th grade teacher, Miss Grogan. He ran and he tackled that lady. Then he straddled her and proceeded to beat her with closed fists. Then he grabs her by the side of her head and starts banging her head on the ground. We just reacted. So we just tackled Jesse and laid on top of him. He was picking us off like fucking, fleas on a dog. Like, this ain't shit. Thankfully, the principal showed up at about that time. Long story short, I never saw Jesse or Miss Grogan ever again. I'm glad that today's generation doesn't have to deal with shit. You guys got school shootings. That's all kinds of fucked up. But yeah, it was just different back then. We did not, again, schizophrenia, bipolar mood disorder, ADD, and ADHD started to become a conversation piece when I was junior high-ish. And again, I was raised by a group of fucking Spartans. They were survivors of their childhood as well, except theirs was worse than mine. And I remember not just my parents, but all the neighborhood parents, well, what? ADD? Well, attention deaf. Yeah. You beat that motherfucker hard enough, he'll pay attention, and everyone would laugh. You guys remember that? Oh, yeah, it was like, fucking ADD. That's it, on some bullshit. We had mental health issues back then, too. No one cared. And again, you had to find a way. That's what makes us the dangerous group of motherfuckers that we are. Again, we are special forces operators gone rogue. We didn't have any fucking help. Right? You had to find a way, right? There was no fucking nutritional advice. You ate. You didn't hydrate your cells. You drank. There's no fucking plastics in your food. You drank from plastic hoses that were contaminated with, fertilizer and poison and shit. We turned out all right, didn't we? We turned out all right. We fought our own fights. Sometimes you won, sometimes you lost. You hated losing back then, but as an adult, you're like, wouldn't change a thing. Why? It taught you how to lose. It taught you how to lose. Every athlete has that moment in their life when they realize they're wired just a little bit differently. I know people when their kids tried out for quarterback and didn't make it. I know people literally that took their kids out of that school, transfer them to another school so that they can be the starting quarterback instead of saying, I bet you'll work harder next year, won't you? The Sabres, the Mustangs. I was on the Sabres. We were very, very. Didn't I bring that home? Ah, yeah, holy shit. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. It's sad. Dad's like, winding it down. So, like, take all your stuff out of this house. Take it home. The Sabres. Oh, you guys know how old this banner is? And my coaches made it. And that's my actual jersey number. We were the best in the city at our age division. The Mustangs were the best in the city at their age division. So they thought, but they were older, so they thought it'd be a good idea for us to play each other. Guess who was the goalie? Goal 1, 2, and 3. I was shook. I used to be a brick wall. No one scored on me, or you go fuck yourself. Goal 4 and 5, I am crying. Goal 6 and 7, I'm unconsolable. This is sitting on some bullshit. Goal 8 and 9, I could not see the field through all the tears that were coming from my face. You guys want to know when Coach Gillis took me out of the game? She didn't. She kept me there, and I sat there humiliated. I don't give up 9 goals in a season. I let go of 9 in one game. I was in front of a fucking firing squad, and I cried all the way home. To this day, I thank Coach Gillis and Coach Dowdy for never taking me out of the goal, because I learned something that day. I hate to lose more than I like to win. I will step on your fucking neck in front of your family as you gasp for your last breath before I lose like that ever the fuck again. It made me work harder. I will never experience that level of humiliation ever under any fucking circumstances. That's what I'm saying. When you fought, you lost, but you learned how to lose. And the most valuable lessons you'll ever learn when you're on the receiving end of the biggest ass whooping you never thought you could endure. But we did. We got knocked down, but we got our asses back up. And more times than not, you did it by yourself. We were the latchkey kids, the forgotten generation. We were the ones who found a fucking way. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have iPads. We didn't have high-speed internet. You had your fucking self, your family, and a very small group of fucking friends. You fought. You made mistakes. You apologize for your fucking mistakes. Generation X, you guys want to know? Again, even after we die, we're still going to be a motherfucking problem. We are the last of the feral grown fucking kids. My parents were feral and survivors. My parents were fucking slaves. We are the last. Every generation's got their issues, right? The millennials got their bullshit. I didn't realize millennials started like in 1985, so they definitely saw some shit. Everyone's got their issues, but we are fucking different. Now, the attention you get And they should get it. Again, every generation needs to be just a little bit softer. That means we are making progress. We didn't get shit. We weren't given a fucking thing. And again, when we got knocked down, we got our asses back up. And more times than not, we found a way to do it all by our goddamn selves. Generation X, I salute you. We are the last of the great motherfucking Mohicans. We're the generation who fell down but got our asses back up. All right, gang, the big guy's held you long enough. He's signing the fuck off. Gin and Truth, let's go. I'll be back firing fastballs in no time, gang. I just needed a day off.